To the Don't Get Fooled show with Big Ray and Ace. College football week 8. Let's go, Ace.
Bam. All right, boys and girls. College football week 8. Cannot wait, Big Ree. How pumped are you for college football week? A lot of good games on the docket, Big Ree. And a lot of juicy games last week. But before we get into the games, we do have some important information to discuss. Do not fast forward. Do not fast forward. Give us at least 4 to 5 minutes. I know a lot of the viewers want us to jump to the picks, but you need 5 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes to go over some admin stuff. Okay, so first I want to start off on the last show. We threw out the idea of throwing out a Telegram or getting a WhatsApp group or Discord and to be able to provide more content to all the viewers. And got so many comments, so many DMs on Instagram. It's starting to get out of control, Big Ree. I'll be honest. Like, the phone just does not stop dinging with DMs, and people are hitting us up. Some people are giving us a lot of good feedback about the Discord and the Telegram and pros and cons about that, and some other ideas on what we can do. And a lot of that has to do with over the last couple of weeks, our show has been getting a lot more subscribers and views. So we're just getting a lot more engagement. But I'm getting all these messages about a lot of people about buying picks left and right. Everybody wants to buy picks, packages, want to help us with their. People are asking to get help with their contests and stuff. They're in different contests and they want our picks every week. Then we got people that want us to give them their parlays. Like, oh, what's the best parlay for the week? Give me a 3-teamer or a 4-teamer. And it's just, or every game that's happening in football, college. Hey, what's your pick? What's your pick?
They want all the Thursday and Friday.
Thursday, Friday.
I gave a Thursday pick.
Yeah, you did. And you did last week, and you hit that. But it's just becoming too much, right?
Yeah.
So we are, put it like this. First of all, we're working on trying to figure out a way how we can provide more content to the viewers and, give more picks. That's what everybody's here is for. And I think really what I want to discuss is, it seems like there's a lot of newbies that are into sports betting now. A lot of people are getting into sports betting, especially with all these apps, Fanduel, DraftKings. There's so many of them. BetMGM, Caesars. Everybody's got an app, and so people are getting into this, and so we're trying to figure out a way how we can provide more content and what makes the most sense. And honestly, I think a lot of viewers don't know this, Big Ree, is our best sport is basketball.
Sure, yeah.
Our best sport is basketball, and for the 6 years that we've had this show, we've never done basketball, really.
Yeah.
And basketball is all the way from October all the way till June.
Yeah.
And so I know people are going to want picks, viewers are going to want to know insight, and I think a lot of people fall in different buckets, Big Ree, because there's people that are just really into betting, and they're there, and they like the games, they want some action. There's some people that don't know crap, and they just want to try to make money. Right. So you got a lot of different people, a lot of the newbies, the hobbyists that are in this, and so we're trying to figure it out. It seems like a lot of people were hitting us up and saying, why don't you guys just have a membership? Start some kind of group and then just charge a monthly membership fee, and that's it. And then you guys can provide more content. And if we can do that, that'll give us opportunity, because every time we take away from other stuff. So we can have a membership fee and we can provide more content. That's interesting. We'll look into that, and we'll look into a lot of this stuff. But one thing I want to talk to about all the newbies that are here sports betting, and whether you guys are watching our show or other shows or buying picks from other people, one thing I want to make it clear: there is nobody, no handicapper, no pick master, expert, whatever you want to call them, nobody's doing 90% against the spread.
Yeah, for sure.
So if anybody tells you they're doing 90% against the spread ATS, they're lying to you. Do not believe it. People can go on stretches and have hot streaks. That's possible for sure. But nobody's consistently doing 90%. Nobody's doing 80%. Nobody's even doing 75%. Okay? Let's make that clear, boys and girls. It's kind of like baseball. Like, if you're in baseball, right, and you're a hitter, if you're hitting close to 400, like DiMaggio, you're the god of, right? Nobody hits 400 in baseball. It just doesn't happen, right? I think only one person has done it. Nobody even gets close, right? Like, they're getting 350, 360. But if you're hitting 350, you're great. You're a great hitter. So just so you know, if you guys are buying picks from other people and they tell you they're doing 80, 75, 90%, don't believe them. They're probably doing 80% on the money line, right? Moneyline picks. Nobody's doing it against the spread. Just so you know, if you're hitting 70, if anybody that you're listening to hitting 70%, they're the LeBron James of handicapping. They're the LeBron James, okay? Let me make that clear. If you can hit 70%, you are great. And you follow any of the big contests where all the real handicappers hit, nobody's even hitting 70%. So if you're doing 70%, you are great. If you're doing above 65%, you're great. I mean, it's an ATM machine all day long. So just remember those numbers for anybody that's trying to buy picks or following people. Anybody that's doing above 65 to between 65 and 70 all day long, that's great. So I just want to throw that out there because a lot of people are just getting fooled by these people that are giving them 80, 90%, and it's a bunch of crap. Don't believe it. Then another tip here is, look, 2 and 3 teamers, meaning everybody's asking me about some parlays. They want 7, 8-team parlays, 9-team parlays. Look, guys, you can hit an 8-team, you can hit a 9-team, you can hit a 10-team. It's very possible, but it's extremely difficult. Extremely difficult, Big Reed. Preach to these guys.
For sure. I'm not even a parlay guy. I just do the straight bets. Like 2 teams, that's okay. I get it. Yeah, I'll hit maybe.
Yeah.
But 9-teamer is just, that's why the odds keep jumping up.
Yep, they keep doubling every time you add somebody.
Casinos love the parlays because that's where they make the juice off.
Oh, they're loving it. That's where they're making all their money, and that's where it's kind of like everyone wants to get rich quick.
Yeah.
Like I hit 1 9 or 10 teamer and I'm set. Yeah, you're gonna put $100 and you can make 50, 60K, 100K. But how often is that gonna happen? It's super rare. Super rare. So my advice to everybody is, look, stick to the, if you're a parlay guy and you want some extra juice other than the straight, you do the 2-teamers and then the 3-teamers.
3-teamer is solid on.
Yeah.
6 to 1.
Yeah, 6-6, and maybe if you're at you get good juice, you get 6.25, and that's it. No more than that. Do not go higher than 3 teams. And honestly, play around with the teasers. The teasers are where you can get good value because you're adding 6 points to the line.
Yeah.
And if you know your stuff in football and then you add 6 points on top of that all day long. So teasers work a little bit different from like just parlays, whereas like if you do a 2-team parlay, you have to do a 4-team teaser to get the same odds.
Right.
If you need to do a 3-team parlay, you need to do a 6-team teaser to get the same odds. So once again, don't go higher than a 6-team teaser and don't go higher than a 3-team parlay.
Right.
That's my advice. Just, I'm just saying there's so many new people in here. You're just throwing away cash in the long run. In the short term, you can hit something here and there and get lucky. But if you really want to make some cash and be consistent, stick to no more than 2 or 3-team parlays and no more than 4 to 6-team teasers. And here's one more thing. Everybody's hitting us up and asking us about what's our best picks and what's our best plays. It's our lock of the weeks.
Exactly, yeah.
So just watch our lock of the weeks, and those are our best teams. So if you want to parlay something, look, lock of the weeks. College, I'm 6-1 college, lock of the weeks. NFL, I'm 5-0-1, lock of the weeks.
That's fucking crazy.
11-0-1, lock of the weeks this season, boys and girls. And so people want to tell you they're doing 80, 90%. Big Re and Ace are just tearing it up.
Ace, not me.
So tearing it up, boys and girls. Go back and watch the videos. I'm just telling you, like, look, I'm on a hot streak, but I know what I'm doing. So it's not just on a streak. So anyhow, I just want to throw that out for everybody that's new to the channel and trying to get into that. Those are some tips. What about the weekend, Big Ree? How was your weekend? I didn't see you this weekend. What did you do? Anything exciting?
Just relax and watch football. The best thing you can do.
There's nothing better than that. Just chilling out and watching football all day.
All day.
I did watch football all day Saturday, all day Sunday. There's one of those after the Vegas blast. I had to just chill out this weekend.
Yeah,
I did get out to pick up some pizza, as I told you. I had to have some pizza for that USC game. Went to Big Al's Pizzeria, picked up some pizza. Didn't get any wings, and I think that's the thing is like, dude, these guys, I can't pay $2 a wing, Big Ray.
I agree with that 100%.
I mean, I love wings, but $2 a wing, bro?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
It does, yeah.
Pay $14 and you're getting 7 wings?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, guys. And that's here in California. I'm sure in some of these other states, you're getting a wing probably about $1 a wing.
Yeah,
and
maybe cheaper.
Maybe cheaper on happy hour or something like that. And you're buying in 2 dozen. You're getting maybe 50, 75 cents a wing.
Right. Yeah.
So $2 a wing is just tough. But their pizza is fire.
Yeah.
I'll give them that. Their pizza is fire. Got the spicy brisket.
Okay.
That was really good. And then got a half and half carne asada.
Okay.
But that was spicy. Bro, I could not. Bro, I was just sweating like crazy on the carne asada pizza. I mean, they put some hot sauce on that. Red hot sauce tore me up. And then the Lebanese chicken was pretty good.
Okay, yeah, that one's good.
But they got a lot of good options. But one thing I will admit, because they're a little bit of a drive.
Yeah.
You can't get cold pizza, bro.
Yeah, I agree. That's why you got to eat it.
You got to eat it there. You got to eat it there. If you want pizza for the game, go to Domino's, Pizza Hut, some local joint.
That's what I did, Pizza Hut.
Yeah, and just pick it up, get it fresh. They're like a 30-minute drive. By the time you drive back 30 minutes, cold pizza. I actually took one slice of the brisket and put it in the toaster.
Yeah.
And it did help.
The toaster oven is good.
It definitely helped, but
toaster oven.
Yeah. So, but otherwise, cold pizza, bro. That's no good. But are we gonna do anything this weekend, Big Ree?
I don't know.
We haven't gone out in a minute, like outside of Vegas.
Yeah, we'll see.
We have to try to get out, man. I think this is the weekend. Your birthday's coming up too, Big Ree.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Come on, Big Ree. Don't act nonchalant, dude.
We'll
we
see.
gotta do something about your birthday, bro.
We'll see.
Okay. The guy doesn't want to talk about it. This is normal Big Ree when his birthday comes, and this guy demands a 32-ounce tomahawk steak. So we'll see what happens. Cannot wait. We got a big game, Oregon, UCLA.
Yeah,
we got some good. It's going to be some good games. Syracuse, Clemson. It's going to be another good game. Undefeated team. So we're going to be a lot of good games on the docket. Question of the day, Big Ree. Let's get into the question of the day. So what's the question of the day, Big Ree?
How often do you upgrade your phone? And are you an iPhone or Android person?
So yeah, that's the question. So you answer it first. First of all, how often do you upgrade your phone?
I mean, I have the iPhone 11, so I'm iPhone.
Okay, so you're an iPhone guy. Okay.
I've had it since November 2019, so I'm still gonna keep it going. I don't think you have to upgrade it. I'd say maybe once every 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years?
Yeah. I'm almost in 3 years in a month, so.
Yeah, so, okay, so you got 1 more year to go, maybe.
At least, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The only thing that's bad right now is the battery, and you can go to Apple and replace the battery for $50.
This is very good. A lot of people don't know that, though, Big Ree. I actually have the iPhone 10.
Yeah.
And I've had that since 2018.
Yeah.
Okay, the beginning of 2018. So I'm going on 4 years, and I just get used to my phones. I have the iPhone as well. But yeah, I mean, I had to do that actually. Like 2 months ago, I had to go to the Apple store, paid I think $48 all in, and got my battery replaced.
Yeah.
And it's good to go now. I mean, I like the phone, and I have 256 GB, so I got enough memory on that sucker. Don't need to get more memory, but I think I'm due soon.
Yeah.
Probably next year, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
The 14 looks pretty fire. Everyone's talking about that. So that's probably on my list. Maybe next year I'll wait for the 15.
Yeah, then you.
But I'm definitely due. But I know somebody that literally, this dude changes his phone every year, and what his logic behind he's an iPhone guy. Every year he gets the new phone, year after year, and he says his logic is, I do this so I can hook up my mom, and so I don't trade it in. I get the new phone every year, and I just give my mom, so at least she has a good phone.
That makes sense.
That makes sense, right?
I thought you were going to say he's trading it in.
No, he's not trading in. So he just has the new phone, it's bought out, and he gives it to his mom every year. So she's at least 1 year behind, but she's got a new phone.
Yeah, that's fair.
Pretty nice. Always good to take care of your mom, boys and girls. Don't forget that. Look out for your mom. So at the very least, get them a nice phone. I mean, gosh, get them a nice iPhone. Sure. Hook up moms. So yeah, and then so we want to hear, comment below how often. So I want to know, are we like outliers that we're trading it in every 4 or 5 years, and some people are trading it every year, or I know some people are keeping it longer. They're until the brakes fall off there. So until the battery's completely dead. So comment below how often you get a new phone, and are you an iPhone or Android guy? I think we're going to get a lot of iPhones, but we'll see. Let's see. And then quick, let's get into some shout outs, Big Ree.
All right. Shout out to Migdabar Fab. Excuse me if I mispronounced that.
What up, Fab? Shout out to College Football Picks. Guess the dude is in the comments, likes our show, and
Been watching for 4 years. Thanks for the support.
4 years. So thanks. Shout out to College Football Picks.
I'll let you give this one too.
Shout out to Beazle from Philly. What up, Beazle? Beazle has been, in the comments for a long time, loyal viewer, and always asking for a shout out. But we got nothing but love for you. So shout out to Beazle.
Shout out to Super Cisco 313.
313 in the house. I want to give a shout out to Rhonda J. Rondra J. What up, Rondra?
Shout out to Joe Maddie.
Joe Maddie. Shout out. Okay, I want to give a special shout out to Owen Almasi from Atlanta and all the boys out in Atlanta. He's been hitting us up on the DMs, and looks like we got a big following out Atlanta. So shout out to Atlanta and Owen.
Shout out to Jacob Losey.
Losey, I guess that's how you pronounce it. What up, Jacob? Thanks for tuning in, bro. And I want to give a last shout out to Playa del Carmen in Mexico. We got some. We have a good fan base out in Mexico, or should I say Mexico? So shout out to Mexico in general, but Playa del Carmen. Once again, if you want a shout out, put your name in the comments. We'll get you next week.
Your city too.
Your name, your city. I really want the cities. I want to know where people are tuning in from, or your employer, whatever it is. Anything else, Big Ree?
That's it. Let's get into the docket.
All right. Without further ado, here we go, boys and girls. Aquí vamos, chicos y chicas. Let's go. Game 1. We got the UCLA Bruins at the Oregon Ducks. Oregon is a 6-point favorite here. UCLA 6-0, coming off a 42-32 win versus Utah on October 8th. So they do have an extra week of rest. Look, that was a good win, but they played bad, honestly. I was not super impressed with Utah. I think Utah played bad, and they should have won that game, but they played bad that game. Obviously, they came back and beat USC last week.
Yeah.
And that was a good win. Ballsy 2-point conversion at the end.
For sure.
But I think they didn't want to give USC the ball again, and most likely they're scoring a field goal at the minimum. So they went for it, and they won. UCLA, high-powered offense. They have scored 40-plus in 5 of their 6 games. But they have given up an average of 28 points per game over the last 4 games.
Right.
They do have a weak schedule, first of all. Weak schedule.
For sure.
And this is a big nugget that a lot of people don't know. They have played 5 of their 6 games at home.
Yeah.
So they've only been on the road once, and that was to a crappy Colorado team that barely got their first win last week. Dorian, Thompson, Robinson, DTR playing great.
Yeah,
75% completion rate, 15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 4 touchdowns on the ground, and he's in the Heisman conversation right now. And then another tidbit here is Chip Kelly, who coached at Oregon for 5 years. He's returning to Oregon.
Yeah, that's big. I didn't think about that.
Eugene going back to Oregon with a respectable team. UCLA 6-0. Then we got Oregon 5-1. They're coming off a 49-22 win at Arizona. They dominated Arizona. They're on a 5-game winning streak ever since that spanking that Georgia gave them in week 1, 49-3. Look, they have a high-powered offense, but they have an underrated defense. I really like their defense. Their defense is strong. They got quarterback Bo Nix, who's a transfer from Auburn. This guy's playing really good also.
Yeah, for sure.
70% completion, Big Reed, 12 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, and 8 touchdowns on the ground. This guy's got 8 touchdowns on the ground. And here's another tidbit for you guys. Oregon has not lost at home since September 22nd, 2018. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's big
since
time.
2018, and that was an overtime game against Stanford.
Yeah.
And so I know, UCLA is a hot pick, +6, but I really, really like Oregon here to cover -6.
Yeah.
And so I'm taking Oregon -6. Game 2, we got Akron at Kent State. Kent State is a 19-point favorite. Akron 1-6. They're coming off a 28-21 loss to Central Michigan. They're currently on a 5-game losing streak. Average loss margin on the road, Big Ree, is 35 points. So they're getting spanked on the road. Last season they lost to Kent State 38-0. 38-0. Then we got Kent State, who is 2-5. They're coming off a 52-31 loss to Toledo. You know, look, but they have they're 2-5, but they have a difficult schedule, Kent State. Look, they had losses to Washington, who's a really good team, Oklahoma, really good team, Georgia, and a 5-2 Toledo team. So they got a tough schedule. 5 of their 7 games have been on the road.
Right.
So tough schedule, playing a lot of road games, super high-powered offense here. But because they've been playing a tough schedule on the road, they haven't been able to show it. But I like them to have a really big game here, blow out Akron. And so I'm taking Kent State -19. Game 3, we got Texas A&M out against South Carolina. Texas A&M is a 3.5-point favorite. Texas A&M 3-3. They're coming off a 24-20 loss to Alabama in the prior week. That was a really good game. They almost had that upset, Big Ree. And that went down to the last drive. They almost had it the last play, actually, but they didn't get it in. That was a doozy of a last play. I don't know what play calling that was. Look, they did lose 42-24 to Mississippi State, but they honestly gave up 21 points there. They just gave them 21 points for free. Much better team when they have a healthy quarterback in Haynes King. He should be playing this week. And look, they're well rested after a bye week, after that Alabama game. I like running back Devon A-Chain to go off. This guy is going to go off for 150 plus. 150 plus here. South Carolina, 4-2. They're coming off a 24-14 win versus Kentucky. They're on a 3-game winning streak, South Carolina, but they have a weak schedule. Look, they're 4-2, but they're 4 wins against a 2-4 Georgia State team, a 1-6 Charlotte team, a 2-4 South Carolina State team, and then, you know, they had a win versus Kentucky against their backup quarterback. So I'm not impressed with their wins. Quarterback Spencer Rattler, the Oklahoma transfer, still playing like crap. 5 TDs, 8 interceptions. I can't give him the BOD. This is already, you know, we're in week 8, so I don't give him the BOD here. This is my lock of the week, boys and girls. I'm taking Texas A&M -3.5. All right, Big Ree, let's go.
The first game I got is the UCLA at Oregon, as Ace took it. I'm going to take the over-under here. Obviously, Ace mentioned Oregon has a great offense, but a good defense. Oregon's averaging 42 points, only giving up an average of 24. They are giving up an average of 29, but they've played some good teams. Obviously, Georgia gave them the works. UCLA is averaging 41.5 points, giving up an average of 23 points. But I think this one's going to be a high-scoring game for sure, but I don't think it's going to go over 70. 70 is very high.
70.5. The line there is 70.5. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So I'm taking under 70.5. So I think that's going to be a good one. And the next game I got is Ole Miss at LSU. Ole Miss 7-0, coming off a 48-34 win versus Auburn at Ole Miss. Woo-hoo. LSU coming off a 45-35 win versus Florida in Gainesville. Both teams are normally great on D, but not this season. It was a shootout. I think this one's going to be a shootout as well. The over is my lock, 66.5.
Woo-hoo.
But I'm taking LSU as well because they're unranked and favored versus the top 7 team.
They're favored.
They're favored by 1.5. So
wow.
I just something's calling me to take LSU here.
Okay.
-1.5. It is a hard place to play always.
Yeah.
And I like LSU. They're on a good streak, and I think Ole Miss goes down, unfortunately. Lane Kiffin.
Okay.
And he was trolling Nick Saban this week on Twitter.
Yeah, I read about that.
Yeah, and I think they go down. I think LSU gets a big win. SEC, anything can happen, and when the spread's this, it feels like Ole Miss -7, then I'd probably stay away. But if they're underdogs,
it's fishy line.
Fishy line.
Vegas special, Big Ree?
I think so. It's a Vegas special.
So you're what are you taking on the? You're taking the
over 66.5
Okay.
is my lock, and I'm taking LSU -1.5.
I like it. I like it. You know, look, LSU. So they're a wild card kind of team, man.
For sure.
You know, look, you got to pay attention to those Vegas special lines. So anything. I mean, I forgot about that game. That's why I'm a little bit surprised. But LSU, Ole Miss, that's a good game.
Yeah.
The UCLA Oregon game.
I think there's Kansas State and TCU.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game. Undefeated TCU and one loss Kansas State, and there's going to be a lot of good games. I just cannot wait.
A lot of teams are on a bye. I think Alabama's on a bye.
Alabama, USC's on a bye. Yeah, there's Ohio State. They play. Who do they play?
They play an unranked team.
Yeah, no, I was actually looking at that line. Who does Ohio State play? Iowa. They play Iowa.
Oh, that's actually going to be a good one.
Yeah, they're 29-point favorite against Iowa.
Is it in Ohio State? It has to be.
But still, it's crazy, 29 points. But I've been looking at it. Iowa gives everybody the works after like 3 quarters. They're putting up 40 plus in 3 quarters.
Damn.
So it's tough. That's a high spread, but I don't know. I mean, you never know with Ohio State, and they, that guy Stroud wants the Heisman, so he's
for sure he's a favorite right now.
They're gonna keep putting up points. So that's a lot of good games on the docket, Big Ree.
All right.
Anything else before we sign off?
Make sure to like, subscribe, comment.
All right, boys and girls.